Hi everyone, Marin here. Sorry for the delay. Had a little bit of a phone issue just now. Must be the mercury. That's my excuse for everything lately. So I thought I'd do just a really impromptu chat and hopefully Q&A on the new project Margot and I have been working really hard on. As many of you know, Margot was visiting the last month, and that was really awesome. We got to go to some births together, and mostly we got to work on this exciting new project, which is the Indie Birth Midwifery School. So I'm a little sad that she's not here with me like she's been the last couple of weeks so that we could do this together, but I thought it was better than nothing and exciting to share the news with you as we go and as we grow and as we begin to enroll our very first school, our very first class of midwifery students. So hopefully you'll have a couple of questions. I don't think this will be terribly long here, but I wanted to just share with you the information that we have, and we'll learn more as we go. So if you're watching and you're interested in another midwifery school option, our school will be completely online and will be structured over the course of 2 years. So the best place to take your time to figure out what we're doing and browse around is to go to the new website for the school that Margot created. She did an awesome job with this website, I think you'll agree. And the web address for that is indiebirthmidwiferyschool.com. Pretty simple. So I'm not going to cover everything that's on the website here. This is just kind of an impromptu informational chat. If people have questions, all of the detail that we've come up with thus far is on the website. And like I said, we'll be adding to it and updating it in order to start enrolling students in November of 2016 for the first class to actually begin next summer. So again, we'll have an extended enrollment period through the winter and spring, and hopefully have a really awesome group of people by the time next summer rolls around and we can really get started. So again, the website is indiebirthmidwiferyschool.com. Much of the information can be found there. And I guess I'll tell you a little bit about how we created it. People have asked. And the creation story, as we joke, is written down on the website. So I think you'll agree, if you're watching and you do these Facebook Live chats with us here and there, that many people are looking for a midwifery school option that fits who they are and the kind of midwife they want to become. And of course, there are lots of midwifery schools out there. Some are physical, so like physical buildings or locations. Some are online. Many are self-paced or self-study. And basically, we think all of those things have their place and their value. But for us, if we were going to create a school, which lo and behold we have, it had to have certain qualities and characteristics that we knew would be important to us. So those things are things like accountability. So this is not a school that will take people that enroll more than 2 years. That's not to say that learning stops at 2 years. That's not at all what's implied there, but that we needed a concise, really clear-cut way to offer an educational experience that doesn't take somebody 10 years. We all know as women, as mothers, maybe many of you are already attending births as doulas, that life gets busy and life gets sort of in the way of completing educational things like this or lots of opportunities. So we really wanted to structure it in a way that the right people know that they can commit to 2 years of intense learning and then be done with that part. of their education. Again, not done learning, just done with a formal education. So that was our main concern, that it be doable, that the time that one would give to this course would be reasonable, and we think it will be. It will be a commitment of probably, probably a couple hours a day, depending on how you work, but there will be deadlines, there will be lessons, there will be assignments that are due at a certain time before the whole class moves on, just like a normal school. So the class of women will go through the entire experience together. There will be no one ahead and no one behind in that class. They will be a team. And we really liked that as a concept too, because community and support as you're going through an experience like this is really crucial. So I think those are the highlights. I'd say another highlight for sure is having it be completely online. Now, in the modern world, we all know that not everything can be or should be online. We like having personalities and interacting with real people. But again, for the sake of time and learning, if we're able to get this completed in such a way that we don't waste too much time on other things, then we thought that would be great. So hopefully there will be opportunities to actually interact with people in the school live and in person. In fact, we've built in the workshop here that we do as part of the school. So there will be at least one, maybe two opportunities in the 2 years, to come together and support each other. And we may also have gatherings at the annual conference, as well as to be determined ways of meeting. So we are hoping that the online experience is really awesome, that it allows you to learn, to connect with other people, to connect with the instructors. But then again, we hope to balance it with at least a couple opportunities to get together with real live people. So any questions so far would be appreciated. Otherwise, I'll just keep babbling at you. Again, all of the information thus far can be found on the awesome website that Margot did, and that's indiebirthmidwiferyschool.com. So if you're wondering more about the courses in particular, or who's going to be teaching, then that would be a great place to go. Put in your email address if you want to get updates about the school and what progress we're making, and just take a look around. So no questions thus far. Let me take a look at the website actually. Maybe that will give me a couple things to talk about. Let's see. So I guess I can talk about some of the teachers that we have on board. I think it's really exciting to think about all the amazing teachers that are out there that all of us are able to learn from. The birth community, I wouldn't say, to me, feels like the most connected community online, which is how a lot of us do learn. Many of us, we don't have these elder midwives in our communities. So sometimes the best we can do is learn from them as we can. And to be able to get some of these amazing people to put together a syllabus and actually teach lectures and then give you feedback, I think is really a gift to anybody that attends this school. So Margot and I will of course be teaching a good number of the classes, and then kind of our partner in crime, so to speak, is Emily Render Graham, who is amazing and wonderful and very smart and compassionate. And she's kind of going to hold down the main amount of teaching with us. Emily studied with the Matrona, and you can read more about her on our indiebirthmidwiferyschool.com website. But she is a dedicated teacher, so passionate about bringing in this new generation of midwives. And we think she's going to be just an amazing team member for us and a great teacher for you. So that'll be kind of the main selection. In addition, of course, we'll have many other people teaching maybe just a course here or 2 courses there over the course of 2 years. Gail Hart, the amazing Gail Hart, elder midwife, has agreed to teach for our school, which we're so thrilled about and really honored. If you don't know, I'm sure you do, that Gail's just brilliant and wise and is all over Facebook leaving amazing comments and participating in discussions. But to get her to, again, put together a formal course where you can ask her for feedback and have those kind of conversations with her, I think will just be so invaluable. And we're really lucky to kind of get that in a place where we can learn from it. In addition to Gail, we will have a lactation expert in IBCLC, a wonderful woman here in Phoenix named Jacqueline, who will be teaching our breastfeeding. Stephanie Dawn will be teaching some sacred business. So we tried really hard with the curriculum. This is kind of a side segue here. We tried really hard with the curriculum to make it as expansive as we could in a 2-year period again. So to us, that meant not just focusing on midwifery skills or complications, but also to include things like business and how to have a midwifery practice and how to set up a website and how to attract the right women. All of those things are so important. So we're honored that Stephanie Dawn will be teaching some of that. And let's see, in addition, Molly Dutton-Kenny, who lives in Canada now, she's an American midwife, and she will hopefully be teaching our miscarriage and loss. She's a specialist in that area. So I think as time goes on, again, if you'll just join our email list, you'll see that we'll be adding teachers and who knows what exciting new courses or maybe guest speakers here or there as we get close to actually beginning the school next summer. So there's a lot to be determined, but I think enough that the right people will start to be interested. So any questions thus far, I'd love if you would post them. This is kind of a quiet Facebook Live, but I guess that's what I get for not giving you any notice. Usually when we give notice, we tend to get more questions. But maybe it's because it's all right there on the website and you're just taking time to look it over, which is perfectly reasonable. And you may have questions at any point, and you can email either Margot or myself. So again, it's indiebirthmidwiferyschool.com. We plan to start enrolling in November of 2016. We will have an application process up shortly and kind of a pathway to follow so that if you're interested in applying, we'll work with you one-on-one to make sure it's the right fit for you and to answer any questions. And then next summer, we'll actually begin classes. So Edelweiss, thank you for a question. She says, do we just pay for each class as we go? So on the website, there is a section on tuition. And really what we're envisioning is, again, a class of women that are going through this experience together. So there won't be too much piecemeal. Side note, you can take just a course here or there if you've met the prerequisites, just to refresh your knowledge if you're a midwife or, something like that. But in general, we're enrolling people to complete the entire 2-year program. So if you look at the tuition part on the website, you'll see how the payment is structured. We are willing to work with people to a certain extent as far as payment plans go, but generally speaking, the payments will be made before, and you can imagine why. If you're trying to run a school, you can't be waiting for every payment before every quarter. It'll be impossible to juggle and to pay our teachers, which is a huge, concern. So take a look at the tuition page and then see if you have any questions. And again, we can work things out with people on a personal level, but still it would need to be completed, before each year began. So Angie asks, will we be required to log on at specific times? I'd say what we're envisioning right now is no. So the way it would work is, say, every Monday, the class for the week would go up on the online teaching site. So week 1, it's up on Monday. You have all week to listen to a lecture and to write an essay or whatever and to take a quiz. So you have all week to complete that section of the course. But you only have that week for that course, for that section. I hope that makes sense. So you have 7 days for each week, and then we all together move on to the next week. So there are deadlines. You have to get that week completed in time. I guess whether or not, you leave it to the last couple days of the week or work on it consistently over the course of the week, that's up to you. How you pace that is totally up to you. There won't be appointed times that you have to arrive online. It just needs to be completed in that week so that you can get feedback from the instructor and then move on to the next week. Yeah, thanks, Jen. We'd love for you to look at the website, any and all of you, just to get your feedback, especially if you have ideas or questions. If things are unclear, let us know. I think Margot's adding like an FAQ page, so that will be great because a lot of the questions are similar, and that's fine. We just need to get them up so that they're there. Yeah, Angie, I did email you back, by the way. So maybe you're asking just to ask for others, and that's totally cool. But just so you know, I did email you back. The PMA does not cover you to attend births, no. The PMA that we have is so that you're covered learning and doing a workshop with us. And then the PMA is for our own private practice. So, setting up a PMA, why a PMA, all of that is also covered in the 2 years because we feel like that's really important and we'd love to help you get started. But that's something that you would need and is outside the scope of what the school provides. Yeah, Vanessa, it's indiebirthmidwiferyschool.com. So just go there. Like I said, Margot did a great job on the website. Nearly everything I've said is there. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to plug in my phone in a second. Excuse me. Okay. Everything's on the website, but, we don't mind talking about it and answering the same question a lot of times because that's how you get the word out and that's how we make sure people understand, but should be good if you go there, indiebirthmidwiferyschool.com. So Edelweiss says, let me see. Edelweiss, the November workshop right now will be before the school starts. So if you, if you wind up enrolling in the school, then you'll have that amount subtracted from your tuition since you've already done or are planning to do the skills workshop. So it'll be a little different for you because the next 2 skills workshops, November and allegedly June, will be before we start the school. So if you're in those groups and you are doing the school, then like I said, your tuition will be less because that's included. And then we'll just work with you as far as, what other details that might mean, but there's only going to be a few people that are in that situation. So yeah, I promise I did email you, Angie, almost right away. Yay, Adria. That's awesome. Yeah, we are thrilled. We are blessed to, again, have amazing people to work with. I think you're going to just be amazed that you can learn from people like Gail Hart from, being in your home, at least as part of your education. We're not saying that this is everything or this takes the place of an apprenticeship, but we feel like it's a really good chunk that most people aren't finding. So, yeah, any other questions about the way the program might be set up, or we'll have a virtual tour ready soon. So if you want to put your email address in on the Indie Birth Midwifery School site, then, as we get together the virtual tour, you'll get emails about that. So you'll get to see like a sample curriculum, maybe like a virtual tour of the teaching platform so you can just see how it's set up. It should be really easy and intuitive to use, at least that's the hope. So all in all, I think it'll be really user-friendly. I know we'll be learning as we go. So our first class, whoever those people are out there that begin next summer will be just really important to us too. We will honor your feedback. We're going to love to hear how it's flowing for you, how it's going, so we can make necessary changes. We are giving a discount of 5% off tuition to the first 5 people that enroll. And of course, you can't do that yet. This is just kind of preliminary information. We will begin enrollments November 1st. So just stay tuned to stay on the email list, and hopefully many of you will be some of our very first foundational Indie Birth Midwifery School students. That would be really exciting. So any more questions before I finish here? I'd love to hear what other thoughts you have, or if something's not clear. Like I said, I feel like it's pretty clear on the website, but that'll take some time to look through. There's a lot of information there, and just understanding how it works and all of that kind of stuff. So I'll give another minute or so for questions. Yeah, you're welcome. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, it's super exciting. We kind of can't believe that it came up this fast, meaning that we've had in our, kind of like the bug in our ear for the last year or so that we'd probably create a school. But that was part of the creation story, I guess. We always just kind of laughed about it, Margot and I, and thought, yeah, maybe one day, we've got a million other things to do, and the conference and this and that. And I personally just didn't see when it was going to happen in the immediate future. But I guess it was just time. When things are ready, or when people are ready, or who knows what is ready, then it's pretty seamless. And that's how it's felt so far. I think it will continue to feel that way. Not like something we're being forced to do, or, anything like that, but something that is really flowing and is very organic and easy to do, which is how I think all good projects should go. So any other questions, feel free to let us know through the website or on the Facebook page. Again, the site is indiebirthmidwiferyschool.com. And thanks all for listening to me blab here today, last minute. Oh, one more question. Or more questions, that's fine. Vanessa says, how many students will be in a cohort? So cohort meaning like the 2-year phase, right? So we'll enroll every year, and then those students will stick together for the 2-year project of this school. So we are hoping between 20 and 30, per 2-year chunks. And we'll have to see, is that too many? Is that too little? We don't want the teachers to be overwhelmed with having to grade and do feedback. So, while at the same time, I don't think hundreds is realistic anyway, that's not the kind of atmosphere we really want, because we want someone like Gail Hart to be able to get back to you personally every week if you have a question, and so we feel like that number right now sounds really good. The other reason is if the skills workshop is mandatory, which it is currently, to finish the school, then we also want that to be a somewhat intimate experience of 10, 15, people at a time. And if we have 20 or 30 enrolled and we're having multiple, skills workshops throughout the year, hopefully, so people have a greater variety of location, then we'd hope that, maybe 10 are at each skills workshop. And then that's feeling really good too. That's what we had at our last skills workshop, and 10 felt like a great number. It felt like just a really great community, and also not too many for the skills that take time, and also not too little. So that's our hope right now, 20 to 30 people per class. And that class will go through the 2 years together. Yeah, I'll resend it maybe, Angie. Well, like I said, I feel like the hours per week, I don't know exactly. It's going to depend on how fast you work, or, that kind of thing. Here's what I'm imagining. The lesson goes up for the week, say on Monday. There's a lecture. maybe a 30-minute lecture recorded for you to watch. There's a couple of assignments or maybe some kind of interactive assignment, whatever that means, with other students or, whatever. There's lots of ways to learn. And so you have that whole week to complete the lesson assignments. And I'm guessing, per class, and again, there would be a couple classes per semester, so 3 or 4 classes per semester, that you're working a couple hours every day, if not more. So I don't know that I'd say it's a full-time, like 40-week kind of thing, 40 hours a week at all, but it's probably part-time. I'd say probably 20 hours a week on completing those 4 classes for the semester. And maybe more, maybe less, but again, that week can be done at your own pace with your own flow. So something we want to be able to help with is, again, the accountability and time management as best we can. So we would, kind of be brainstorming how, or maybe ideas for people to feel like they could complete that. So maybe you watch the lecture on Monday morning, that's just your routine, and then you divide up the rest of your week to be able to get the classes done. So it will take some time and some structuring and some commitment and responsibility. But again, we think those are all really great qualities, and we think that midwives need to have those qualities, and that it will be manageable. If you're doing this because you love it and you want to learn, then of course, right, it shouldn't feel forced or awful. It should be awesome, and you should probably look forward to those hours every day where you're having to do this work. But that's my general answer. I can't say more than that at the moment. That's what we're envisioning. So thanks for the questions. If there are any more, I'm happy to take them. Since I did get on a little bit late here, I haven't quite been on a half an hour yet. Let me think what else I can add. We're imagining that there will be ways to connect with the women in your class, of course, as well. So, 20 people really isn't that many. You'll probably know a fair amount of the other women, that's my guess. And just finding ways to connect, maybe through Facebook and other social media. Again, maybe some assignments that have you working sort of in groups or by video, so that it is as interactive as it can be with it being an online school. Of course, there are advantages to having like a physical structure school, but we just didn't think that fit the model that we wanted. Not to mention, it's extremely expensive to have like a, whatever they say, brick and mortar building. Our costs would have to be, 3 to 4 times higher to have an actual physical structure. So we think this is the best way right now that we can come up with. And again, I'm sure it will be in tip-top shape in a couple of months and ready to enroll people that are interested. So any other questions? IndieBirthMidwiferySchool.com. Again, there is a discount for the first 5 people that are enrolled. And we're not enrolling yet. We will begin enrollment in November and then hope that we get a really awesome group by the time next summer rolls around so we can begin. So I think that's it for me if there's no other questions. Thanks for watching, and be sure to let us know if you have any questions or how we can help. Have a great weekend. Bye.